Hey, Mike Healy here, and thank you so much for watching this video. What I'm going to do is absolutely blow your mind with nodes. Now, if you've never heard of it, what this is it's a mining software project in the cryptocurrency space that is it's actually the very first of its kind commodity-backed cryptocurrency. Okay, and I'm going to show you something that's unlike anything you've probably ever seen. It's just revolutionary. I mean, we've got all kinds of different technologies. I'm going to show you 3D scans of the earth. I'm going to show you some stuff that's going to upset you. But most importantly, I'm going to show you a solution and what we're doing to produce some pretty good cash flow with what we're doing. Okay, so I've got a PowerPoint. I'm going to jump to it right now. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, speed up, and I'll slow down in a few parts. So let me just pull that PowerPoint up real quick for you, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so the first thing I want you to understand is the project we're working on is called Xnode with a company called IX Global. IX Global in their first year, which was last year, $20 million in sales. This year, already to date, from January to December, beginning of December of 2022, we've done 185 million. Okay, so something is going on here. Okay, now what they've created is a first of its kind commodity-backed cryptocurrency. And when I say commodity-backed, it's things that you're already familiar with, such as gold, natural gas, oil, aluminum, satellite systems, eco-culture stuff. Okay, so it's really, really important. Now, because I'm talking about crypto, I do have to put a disclaimer in here. Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from transactions. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Okay, I want to slow down here real quick on this. So more than likely you're familiar with Bitcoin, which was the very first cryptocurrency that was released. Now there's a difference between buying coins, tokens, or mining tokens. Okay, when you purchase a token, you are actually purchasing like one digital asset coin, and whatever that value is, that's what you have. So if you purchased on the left one Bitcoin, it's worth whatever today's current market value is. However, what if you had the ability to purchase a software license and generate or mine your own tokens? So the example I'm going to show you right here, because if you understand this, the rest of this is going to fall into place very easily for you. When you purchase a Bitcoin, it has a token, it has a limited current state value, right? But when you buy a license, what happens is those mining software programs, they mint or mine tokens, and so every day. So what if you could actually, instead of just buy a Bitcoin, what if in this example you actually had a software program that you bought a license for that maybe every day or every 5 days generated an actual Bitcoin? So that's what I need you to just kind of understand conceptually, because then everything else is going to fall into place. So if you're not familiar with cryptocurrency, it's a digital payment system that doesn't rely on banks. Okay, that's what's important. It's basically something that's peer-to-peer. It's easy. It's practically instantaneous. It is recorded on a blockchain, which is a public ledger. It's stored on what they call digital wallets. And back in 2009, when it kind of really started to become main interest, that's where Bitcoin kind of jumped into the forefront. Now, I pulled this up just because I thought it was kind of interesting. I typed in Google, how many crypto millionaires are there in the world? There's over 81 people that hold at least $1 million worth of Bitcoin. So if you think about that, there's a lot of people that have done very, very well in not only Bitcoin, but there are thousands of other tokens out there. Okay, now when Bitcoin really kind of started to grab some speed back in 2012, one Bitcoin was worth $5.30. Well, you move it up to today's current values right around 20. It actually peaked up. It had some peaking areas which were insane, that you could look, if you look at the peaks here, these big peaks and highs right here are what they look like here and what they look like here, and then they settle, and then they have a burn, and then it goes on, and then you're going to see we're going to settle, and then more than likely it's going to do the same thing. Now, the other thing to be very sensitive or understanding of is the returns. Now, I'm not guaranteeing returns on anything, but if you look at what they have shown, it's pretty insane due to the fact that in a 1 year, Bitcoin was up 275% compared to gold and the stock market. But if you look at over a 10-year period, we're talking over 7 million% that it went up compared to everything else, when gold only went up 39 and 19 for the S&P. Okay, so Bitcoin and most of the top ranked digital currencies absolutely blow everything else out of the water. Okay, now if you look at this one right here, you've got actually what cryptocurrencies, what was something worth. If you invested 10 years ago $1,000 into one of these projects, which you're familiar with, this is what their current value would be if you put $1,000 in, compared to what Bitcoin is. It's not even close, right? So that's something to consider. Okay. Now, the other issue that we are all dealing with is the purchasing power, and the value of the dollar is plummeting. Okay, where this isn't something I'm not having to tell you that you probably haven't figured out. The other thing is the stock market is, most people's 401ks are turning into 201ks. Now, here's what I need you to understand is, what if there was a way to create or have a place to store your wealth, store assets, buy assets and stuff like that with a very good upward potential. Okay. Now, last couple slides on this, and I'm going to get into exactly what we're doing here. The cryptocurrency is going with or without us, right? It's just moving forward. The adoption of it is going there faster than the internet was adopted. Okay. And if you look back in history, all of these different things, there's a ton of big brands now that are accepting payments, and a lot of big banks now are putting these on their investment portfolios. Okay. Now, last slide I had on here, that because I need to get your attention to, is most of us obviously experienced some pretty crazy ups and downs with our life over the last few years. Savings, if you look at this chart right here, has absolutely plummeted, and people are using mostly debt to get their life going. Okay, you have got to look at this point in your life an alternative for creating and generating some kind of wealth. I believe that we have it. Okay, with the partnership between IX Global, which is a 2-year-old company, and Debtbox. Okay, we've created a thing called the X nodes, the nodes, and what they are is they're a decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology where we have real-world commodities that are backed by these cryptocurrencies are backed by real-world commodities. Just some of the projects that we currently have. If you look to the top left, our main utility token is DET. We have Black Gold, we have Grow, and I'll go through some of these. So you can see there's a bunch of them. We have digital silver coming and so on. But when you see the technology that's the proof of the assets that we have, it's going to blow your mind. One of which is the reason they've done this is they actually own the proprietary, software programs that can do a satellite scan of the planet and or any areas that they're looking to do, right? And what happens is they can identify literally like up to 6 meters, or I'm sorry, 6 millimeters, 6 inches from major oil wells, gold, silver, aluminum, things like that. These are just some snapshots from some of the oil well in Nebraska. Okay, here's another one that we have from that same thing with the largest mining, one of the what do you call it? These mining towers here in the world. Okay, this is what they use. We just signed a $62 million contract with Ghana. Ghana, Africa actually did this because of what our technology does. Okay, now I want to show you. Let me jump to this. Here's something that just came out, and I got to show you this. One of our tokens is called DLG, Digitally Linked Gold. And this is an actual 3D rendering. Now, I pulled the video up. I'm going to show you this real quick. I'm going to exit the PowerPoint, and I want to show you this. This right here is actually what our satellite systems do, is they can scan, and they will go through, and they actually can, without digging, find exactly where the deposits are. Everything you see on here, those are gold deposits, veins of gold. So an aerial, tall aerial view of what they've done. We zoom in, and you can see what they look like, where they're located. Do you think this is of value to anybody? The reason Ghana, Africa signed such a big contract with us is due to the fact that they now don't have to strip mine and destroy so much. They don't have to displace communities. Okay, so we're doing some amazing things here. Okay, so let me get back to the PowerPoint. So we have real satellite technology that's going through and doing this. That's how we are able to get these. Now, what happens is these tokens, these actually projects like black gold, which is the oil. This one is supported by all of our assets that we already own, okay, and partnerships that we have, because these companies are hiring us to do that. This is the future of what technology can do for companies. So I'm just giving you an overview here, and I'm going to show you what it means to you here in a second, okay? Let me speed through some of this. We've got our debt, which is our utility token. We've got our grow, which is a project that does high yield agriculture. Okay. Again, something that's eco-friendly, something that's really benefiting the planet, that kind of thing. Natural gas. Okay. We've identified some of the largest natural gas reserves in the world using this technology. Explorer is actually our project that is attached to the satellite systems that we have. And there are some huge announcements about to come out with the partnerships we have and with our own satellite systems. Okay, so it's going to be huge. I mentioned the black gold, I showed you that. Aluminum. Okay, if you think about some of these. Now, here's the deal. What if you had the ability, because each one of these tokens has value to it, and what if you had the ability to go in and purchase a mining license, and then you owned it perpetually, or you can rent them. I'll show you that in a second. And then for every license that you purchased, it created rewards. So you purchase a license, it earns rewards. You can withdraw it, you can cash it in, you can put it in your bank, you can buy other assets with it, and so on. So we have rental licenses and we have perpetual. Perpetual license typically run on about a 4,000 day thing, so that's close to 10 years. We actually have already sold out of the black gold and the Nat Gs, but they are available for rentals. I'll get to that in a second. And then we have the grow, and this is current pricing as me making this video right now. Like 1 10-year grow license is $2,000, but what happens is it generates on a daily basis tokens. Same thing with aluminum, Explorer, DLG, and the other ones that are coming. With rentals, someone can come in and for as little as $250, choose one of the projects we have, rent those for $250, and it mines the exact same amount of tokens as a perpetual, but typically on a limited. It usually ranges from 30 days to 60 days, okay, depending on the project. Now, I'm going to show you how this works, okay? So what I had to do, or what I decided to do, and what you probably can do, is a couple things. You can become a member with, buy a subscription with IX Global. Now, what happens is if you just want to purchase nodes and software licenses, it's $50. It's $50 to do that. And what that gets you is the ability to buy wholesale project licenses, software licenses, okay? Or if you're interested, you can get a package. I got the $115 package, which allows me to earn off of the referrals of the licenses, okay? So that's what this dollar amount here is in my back office, okay? So from the referrals of the licenses, I've generated this, okay? It's actually more, but that's what's currently in my account, right? Now, what's nice about that is I can actually use this to purchase more of the digital assets, the licenses, and so on. So let me show you how that works. On my back office, when you get in, when you're a member, you go in, you click on add-ons, and it will take you to the project page. You'll click on Xnode account, and then I can choose anyone on here. So let's say I click on the grow, and when I click on it, it's going to take me to where I see that one grow license is $2,000, right? Well, you can, if you scroll down, you can buy like 10 at a time, that kind of thing, in which we do have people that own hundreds of licenses. There's quite a few people actually. And if I was to click on this and add it to my cart, I would scroll down to the bottom and it would take me to this page then to where my subtotals are. So there's my total. I can buy with Bitcoin if you know how to do that, or if you already have a current wallet with something. Safety pay, I can pay with my wallet, which is what I would do in this case scenario, or a COD, which is a wire transfer. Well, the first time I did this, because I was just learning it, I did 2 wire transfers, 2 different accounts, or 2 different projects, and just went to the bank, got a wire for that amount, sent it off, and away we went, right? Very simple. Once that happens, you then get your own Xnode portfolio through DebtBox, which allows you to see all of the tokens that you have mining, all of the projects that you have mining, creating the tokens. And then if you actually click on one of these, it will take you in. So if I was to click on that, you're going to see current mining balance. I have 875,000 mined tokens. Now, currently, the price for a nat gas one is, there's about, what is that, 3 or 4 zeros, then a 2. Okay. So current value for that is about 244 bucks off of that. Now, here's what I do personally believe, that as more of these projects go, as we open more mines, as we get more partnerships with bigger countries and things like that, this is probably going to move some digits to the left. Okay, that's just my opinion. Again, you can click on different tokens, you can track them, and then what happens is it'll show you what you're mining daily, what the value is, and if I wanted to, I could cash these in immediately and get that taken care of. If you end up building a portfolio, you can go into on the left-hand side there, and you can see your dashboard. What I was just at was rewards, portfolio, and then you can see the different amount of rentals you can have. You can actually transfer those tokens into your wallet. So if you wanted to become liquid quickly, or you got other projects you'd like to purchase, right here you can do that. And I can see my mining balance and so on, and then daily returns if it was, based on what tokens we have coming in. Okay, so the last thing I want to tell you is that all of this can also be done right on your app of your phone. We have all that taken care of. It's right on the phone app, and you can track and see everything. Okay, so let me jump out of this and kind of give you some closing remarks, and we'll pull this up real quick. Let me just boom, see this. So what I'm going to suggest to you is, if somebody introduced you to this, or you just went through this and somebody told you about it, get back with them, get a few more questions answered. It's really not that hard. It's not super rocket science, but what I was looking to do, or what most people are looking to do when they're jumping on board with this, is we're looking to diversify where we can store wealth. Okay, whether it's different, whether it's other cryptocurrencies, real estate, metals, whatever's out there. Diversification is cool, right? It's kind of key. But with the tokens here, with what we have, because I try to use this in simple terms to make you understand this, is picture an apple tree. Okay, so when you buy an apple tree, let's say you purchase an apple tree, which is you buying the license. The apple tree then is going to make apples. Now, today, the apples might be worth 5 cents, right, per apple. But the next day, as it creates more apples, and the next day, and the next day, you're accumulating the value of whatever those apples are, right? So that's kind of it was like the second slide I showed you with the difference between purchasing crypto and mining tokens, that kind of thing. What'll happen is you'll then have the tree, and it's going to daily do that. You actually have the value of that tree, and eventually, if you wanted to, you could sell your license / your tree and give it to somebody else, and you just mined all the tokens. Or you could do a rental. You could actually just mine tokens and get apples all day. But what's cool about this is you are not limited to how many apple trees you get or how many licenses you purchase. You can get as many as you want. And a lot of people, including myself, what we're doing is we're building up portfolios of these mining licenses because they are generating perpetual income day in and day out on that. And then we can do whatever we want. And a lot of us like myself, are holding due to the fact we really do believe that since this is a new project and it's doing so well and we're growing so fast, we do believe that the upside potential is really, really there. So anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you understood this. I try to keep it as simple as quick as possible. But again, get back with the person who got you on here. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so. Again, thank you, and I'll see you on the other side.